It's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself.
So do I.
Well, no sense worrying about it now.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
Yeah. Now let's get ready. Switch me on. I don't think you're crazy.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
What's up, Ghostheads? It's another episode of the Ghostheads radio show. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me as always, the one, the only, my partner in crime, Matty B.
If you were on Geekcast last night, it was Matty B. Waters. I'm back into form. It's Matty B. Miller Lite time, baby. Let's go. I'm excited. Haslab week is upon us. The Armageddon of I put a scratch on my cyclotron post. I covered my fake electric tape with real electric tape posts. Everybody's excited, and I am too, honestly. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. The Proton Pack is arriving around the world. The Haslab Pack. If you're in the chat, say what's up. Which GB team are you repping? Let us know in the chat below. And we're going to be talking all about this bad boy right here, the Haslab Pack, which got me a little scared because, like, I was telling Maddie, like, the shipping is all chaotic. Like, nothing makes sense. And I have no idea when it's coming. Some people got it without any notice, no email, no notification, no knock on the door, didn't sign for anything. We have friends that actually that happened to. But can breathe now. It's finally here. It's all set up, looking nice and pretty. And we're going to do a few things today. Talk about the pack, talk about my experience, some of y'all's out there as well. We're going to be joined by Kevin Quinn a little later on in the show from the Lansing, Michigan team. And we'll also have a discussion about what you guys are doing and what we've seen being done for the pack as people are starting to mod the heck out of it. Will I do it? Maybe. We'll see. We'll get to that in a little bit. But like I said, let us know where you're from. Let us know which team you're with. Say what's up in the chat. This is exciting. I'm excited. I've had a blast. I was like sitting at work all damn day, just wanting to be at home, just looking at it and like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Because this guy's been giving me ideas. Our San Antonio team leader Rob's been giving me ideas. Some other people on the team have been giving me ideas, and I'm just like, oh my god, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. But yeah. So Kevin Quinn's already in the chat saying hello there. What's going on, Kevin? We'll see you in a little bit, buddy. Joseph's in the chat saying, "What's up, ladies? What's going on, man?" Oh well, where do we begin?
Arrival day. Oh no,
Arrival day.
let's take it back a bit. I'm gonna host for a second, Ted.
Go for it.
I'm interviewing you right here, okay? Because I was talking to you days leading up. I think I had started sending you messages about a week and a half before you got it, saying, "Hey, it looks like they may be shipping early." And Ted is not one to get overly excited about anything. He will not do it. He will
Hold
not
on.
let himself. What?
Unless it's like a show that we're reviewing, then you're like, stop getting excited about everything, Ted.
Well, I mean, a general rule of thumb.
Yeah.
There's exceptions to every rule. But
Absolutely.
Ted does not like to get himself too hyped up because
No.
he doesn't like disappointment. So, and I don't blame him for that. So, but I'm his hype man. Anytime he has something excited coming up, I'm hitting him up every single day. Hey, you should be excited about this. So he started to get a little bit excited once he started seeing some shipment changes. Bring us into when you saw it being fulfilled to the point that it arrived at your doorstep. How was that experience?
I'll take a one day back. So my brother-in-law is like a manager over at FedEx, and I was like showing him like, hey, what's all this about? There's like nothing. I've got no information in a week, but I have a tracking number. Is that normal? And you know what he told me? I told you what he told me. He said, "Man, when that happens, it usually doesn't get sent out." And I'm like, "Don't say that. Don't say that. That's the last thing I want to hear." But a few days went by. Finally, like information started showing up on my tracking. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you guys out there, was it was the same for you guys. And then like clockwork, man, like it started hitting all the stops, got shipped to the state. And then as soon as it said like it'll be out for delivery tomorrow, it gave me a 4 hour window. And sure enough, like almost right in the middle of that window, I was walking by the door. I heard a outside FedEx truck out the window. I'm like, oh my God, is this it? Sure enough, homeboy is like lugging this big ass box to my door. And I'm like, I'll take that. And sign for it like you're supposed to. If you didn't have to sign for yours, I don't know what to tell you guys. But I signed for mine and brought it in and was just like a sigh of relief because I'm like, I work during the week. I don't want to get dropped off while I'm at work. People steal packages all the live long day in my neighborhood. So that's like the worst case scenario in my mind that it would have gotten taken. But so we opened it up, and this is going to be very similar to a lot of experiences out there. And this is something that I recognized immediately when Adam Savage was talking to Warden, John Warden, who is one of the directors over at Haslab, one of the designing directors over at Hasbro. Sorry, Hasbro. John said that his team was um, really cooking up some ideas for the packaging and all that. And so I'll probably show some pictures in a little bit. But the entire box within the FedEx box looks like a crate. It looks like Egon Spengler's crate. It's all decked out. It's all just cardboard, but it's so intricate and so detailed and everything else. It comes with a faux floor, the floorboards that are from Ghostbusters Afterlife, and you kind of just like shift one of the panels to the side, and then you just start taking stuff out. So it's really cool. They went above and beyond on just the packaging that it came in, and then for it to look like this, for it to look just like it did in Ghostbusters Afterlife, is incredible. If anybody has any questions about if you're doing the stand right or wrong, it took me a while to find like a really good strategy on putting it together because while it is like a plastic, it is a very durable plastic. Like it takes a lot of force to kind of put all of the um I don't know, the nooks and the hinges into the right spots, snap them into place.
Your grooves.
The grooves, it was tough, but I have a good strategy. So if anybody has any issues, let me know. Other than that, it came with a bunch of stuff like you've seen and you've heard about. It came with the Stay Puft Minis. Oh, look at those guys! They're fantastic, aren't they? Um, the blueprints were also very detailed, very intricate. The blueprints, I say, it's actually the manual, but they look like blueprints, which is freaking amazing.
Which is
So
awesome. That's
cool.
something that I would certainly frame if I was a backer. And just so everybody watching, I'm the one with FOMO, thinking that I didn't need one because I was building a spirit pack at the time. Oh, I don't need it now. I completely regret not getting one, simply for some of the things that we'll get into it. That's one of the things that I would have framed and I would have either back here or in my bar or somewhere as like a nice little Easter egg in the house. A really cool thing to have. So, Ted, you mentioned the packaging,
Yep.
and we're talking about this is at a price point of $399 plus tax. You're under $500, shipped to where you are.
Yep.
I've heard so much about this packaging; it would make it seem like the packaging was $500.
Absolutely. And he's not exaggerating whatsoever. Like I'm like this is so much stuff. Not only are you getting sort of the fan items, right? The Stay Puft Minis, the manual that looks like blueprints, but it was really cool is they give you this Egon Spengler journal and it's chocked full of just like notes and stories going all the way back to 1984. As a matter of fact, I just noticed this. They put the year. Oh my God! It's actually in chronological order. So it starts with a little blurb from 1984. See that there? And then as you start turning the pages, it goes 1985, 1989, and probably gets into some stuff afterwards. What we're probably going to be doing is like going through this one page at a time on this show. Probably do like a weekly bit. Um, I would love to do that.
I think that's a great idea, Ted, because, and I'm not even, we could talk about this behind the scenes, but for a little
Woo!
inside baseball for everybody watching, um, this is something that I really think that people will kind of dive into, especially there's a lot of people who back the pack, but there's a lot of people who didn't. I'm one of those people. So if every single week I were to learn a little bit about that book that I don't have, I would be very interested in that. So hopefully, you folks in the chat, put a W in the chat if you think that that is a good idea, because I think it is. I've heard that this journal is not only intricate,
Oh yeah.
it's not only had time spent on it, that it's giving people some real good vibes about the content that we're going to receive, because whoever put this together is going to be working on these projects and being a reference to people who are doing that. That means our franchise is in good hands, because I heard it adds to the lore in a way that we haven't really received in a product form in some time.
It's so cool, everything that you're given, and it's not only like the fan items that we talked about, but it's the tangibles. It's the it's the bag of brackets for your Alice frame. I mean, who who thinks about giving you guys all the hardware to attach your merchandise to an Alice frame, which they don't have any stock with the Alice frame company, right? Regardless, they go above and beyond. They went that far out to do that, and it was already spoiled. It would have been cool if it wasn't spoiled, but I know that this is something that they talked about a year ago with Adam Savage, like just the neutrino wand having the functionality to be compatible with the pack itself. Like when you heard that, it was like, well, that's pretty cool that they thought about that. But then like trying it out and like doing the bits with it, it's so cool. And it's just like it's as far as you kind of want a Ghostbusters Proton Pack accessory to act and function like. Like we're like 95% there. Like if they came out with one that also had the smoke deal and like would stay on for a long period of time, because there's like a time limit to where like it shuts off the power to the whole thing. So those are very small things, but like I said, 95% of what you would expect and want in a product like this. And also, probably next week's show, gonna update you guys on attaching an LC2 Alice frame. There's been a lot of talk about LC2 frames not being ideal, and I can kind of see why a little bit. They're a little
I heard
more.
it works fine.
It's
I've
you.
had a few people send it to me and say it works fine because they saw last week's episode where we were going on and on about LC1 and LC2, and then again the ribbon cable is another big topic that we have brought up. But I've had many people hit me up and say I got an LC2 and it works fine. For anybody watching though, Amazon.com has Rothko frames that could ship to you next day. Maybe not right now because they had a sudden influx. But that Rothko frame is an LC1. So if you don't want to take the risk on the LC2, Amazon, Rothko, I have it on mine. It's a direct LC1. So
There you go.
there's ways to get it, but your LC2 is going to work fine. And
I think so. It might take a little bit of straightening some of the bars that go across the horizontal bar is like pushed in a little bit. I'm worried about that. I'm gonna have to try and straighten it out a little. It might take maybe pinching the width of those bars a little bit just to kind of make the brackets fit on a little easier. But I have no doubt in my mind that it's definitely possible because there are folks that have done it so far already. But everybody's having to tweak it a little bit. And if you're watching and if you have an LC2, best thing to do is just kind of put in every screw kind of all at once and don't tighten anything. Really try and like ease it in place because if you start tightening the bottom half or the top half first, then you're going to start finding yourself really far off from everything else.
Yeah,
So
don't screw everything in all at once. Just
no.
just thread it in to where it stays enough, and then slowly tighten things in around the way. That's what I've heard is the best way to do it as well. But I can't wait to see you actually suited up in an Alice framed proton pack, Ted. And folks, Ted has been rocking and I helped him mod it a little bit. I did the best I could with it.
It's great.
This was this is the first gen Spirit Pack, no Alice frame, still with the cardboard backing. Like we're talking, I had the extra straps
Right.
from my Spirit Pack because I put the Alice frame on, so I came with mine. So Ted has been like just kind of one shoulder in this thing, hasn't really been like no seriously he
I've been
rocks it
two
like the cool
shouldering it. I've been two shouldering it.
he one shoulders it like the cool kid at school.
Oh yeah.
But now
Now,
you get to suit up in a one by one
one for one.
Alice framed pack for $399. And now we've talked about where they succeeded in that price point. Can we talk about in some ways that was lackluster at that price point? Because if I had had one, these are some things that I would think about. The ribbon cable sucks.
Yeah. You know
It's
the
not colorful. It's what I've seen people rub and buff this thing out. It's like 98% a white cable.
Oh wow. Unless
Yeah.
the whatever they're using is kind of wiping away the color from it, do you think?
No, no. So like the Ghostbusters 1 cable is very specific. So there's a few very bright color cables. There's a clear portion of laminate, and
Yeah.
then there's a few white cables with color spiral up the top. But it still looks very colorful. The Ghostbusters 2 cable, the Spectra cable, is a full rainbow.
Full rainbow,
Yeah, and it's very
top to
colorful.
bottom.
It's something that really stands out on the pack. Now, knowing that they were doing an afterlife pack, they knew that they were going to have to dirty it up a little bit. And so I think that they cheaped out on the ribbon cable a little bit, knowing that they were going to put all this tarnish on it. And they didn't want to drop the extra money to get a full color ribbon cable on there. And because the cable that's on there is not only not GB1, not GB2, this cable has never been used
Ah,
anyway.
I we have talked about it and I know it's hard to see because it's so dark. It's closer to GB1 because it's the pattern is closer to the GB1 cable. The GB2, every color is the same width all the way top to bottom, and
Yeah,
then there's wires that have like white stripes or gray stripes
yeah,
across. This doesn't have that at all. So it's nothing like GB2. It's closer to GB1, but
but nothing like
definitely
GB1 either.
but definitely
Um,
different.
so yeah, and the packs in Afterlife were GB2. So it's almost like because they and this is a justification for Haslab here, because they gave the 84 mode as well, right? So there's an 84 mode and there's an Afterlife mode. So maybe they wanted the ribbon cable to be a mixture of the two, which it kind of what I guess would look like because it has the texture of a GB2 cable, the way that but it has sort of the color sequence of a GB1. But so here, we were going to get into this anyway. Was Kevin Quinn in actually? We can get into this after we talk to Kevin Quinn.
Kevin, if you're still watching, feel free to join the
I
join the
forgot you said
show.
he said he was going to join in 20 minutes. I didn't want to leave him hanging.
He might have just gotten distracted by us talking. You know, there are certain elements, right, that are GB1, and then there's certain elements that are GB2. Mr.
Mhm.
Spence is in the chat.
Yep,
Legendary Alex Spence, what's going on, sir?
his pack was
For
delivered. Yep,
example, the generator crank, right, is more GB2 because it's black, whereas the 84 is gray. Correct?
right. And they had to choose between those, and so it's a tough thing because, and I get why the developers were looking this way because they wanted an 84 mode for classic buyers, but they wanted the afterlife look because we're going with something new, riding the hype of afterlife. So they had to sort of combine these things, but from what I've seen and what I've heard from the pictures of the packs from Afterlife, they're GB2 upgraded to Afterlife. So the all the packs on screen were GB2 packs with Afterlife the Spangler modifications, i.e., the grounding wires and all of that.
Which
So
makes sense, right?
I would agree. I mean, they had to make a choice somewhere, and in those choices comes cutting costs.
Yep.
And I don't think that they did it to cheap anything out. I hate the ribbon cable on that pack. If no, but seriously, because it's not
I get it.
expensive. I
I get
have
it.
a legit GB2 Spectra cable that I have on my Spear Pack. It costed nothing. It was like $12.99, and that's for buying the size that I got. I
Yeah.
just think that they could have put a little bit of effort into it because of this one reason. The pack is very black, it's very muted. There's some silver accents here and there. The ribbon cable is that one sort of flare of color that you have on the pack, especially if you
Yeah.
want to go 84. The ribbon cable is a very important piece of the aesthetic of a proton pack. And I just wish that they would have used something that was a little bit closer to accurate. And one of the reasons why is, and I'll share my screen while we're waiting for Kevin. This who modded his pack here. This is one of the most beautiful examples of what I'm talking about. So he modded his. I'm sharing now. He modded his with the 84 cable. Um, you see how pretty that is?
Very nice.
Yeah, and he also did that clear lens modification as opposed to that milky white, which I love. And he exchanged this for the screen accurate
Yeah. Yeah.
wire cover
The cover. Yeah.
there. But I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
It pops so much more with a different cable. Is he
Oh, I
going
mean,
to though? What's it called? Age it up a little bit.
I don't know. Like, I think you just sort of let it age on its own. This is what he used to make
All
that
right.
lens mod, by the way. He went to the dollar store and took it off of that. I would not recommend doing that. You could just get some. Remember when we had binders back in school and you had those clear dividers?
Hey, there you go. Perfect.
Now, now that's what I would use for this. But I mean, look at that. Look at what it does to that power cell light. And that's accurate. All of those lights moving up, like that's screen accurate. And just a simple mod. It makes me wonder, why did they choose that milky filter?
Okay, you may not like this response. Definitely the designers of this were thinking elements of 84, elements of 89, but also we want this to really stand on its own, right? Like when you like the product we're getting is not to be an aged 84 pack or an aged GB2 pack. It's meant to be an afterlife pack. And I kind of like the bar graph. I kind of like that in a way, like seeing the light bulbs themselves going up, while it is completely 100% screen accurate, it feels a little like not cheap, but like you're kind of stepping down a little bit to see it completely full and moving up. Like it's completely full. It feels like it's more of a power cell meter going
I would
like
like
that.
it more if it was like segmented. You know how like on the wand, the bar graph on the wand, how it's like lines that move up.
Yeah,
I don't love that milky lens. I don't care if they want to advance the technology and not have the little tiny dots and bars. Um, when the pack is off, the Haslab pack as it stands, when the pack is off, that's just like a white milky lens.
right.
If it was even just blue while it's
If
off,
if there was a way to do that, yeah, I think even better. I kind of dig it. I kind of feel like it's something new, even though it's not screen accurate whatsoever. I completely agree
yeah.
with you that screen accurate, yes, that's completely the way to go. It is
And
kind of
everybody's
cool
pack
though.
is their own pack. But could
Absolutely.
you agree that this aesthetic right there was beautiful with that 84 cable, high quality? Um, but
So
yeah, I mean,
good.
I'm excited to see some more mods there and kind of how people are willing to do it. Maybe
Absolutely.
even swapping out that motherboard, make it feel a little bit less like a toy.
Bryce is up in the chat saying, "What's up, fellas? What's going on, Bryce?" We have a special guest today from the Lansing, Michigan team. He wanted to come on and talk about not only the Hasbro Proton Pack, but also just some other things in general. The one, the only Kevin Quinn. What's going on, Kev?
What's up, guys?
You hear us
Finally,
okay?
finally, can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear. I got my headset
Nice. How you been, man?
in. Finally, be able to finally chat with you, yahoos.
Real quick, before we talk about any proton packs, we sent you some care
Mhm.
packages. Did you get all the
Yeah,
stuff?
I got the sticker. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I could put that on my pack. And yeah, I got
Hey.
also the mug. Basically, I got 2 out of the 3 that you said.
All right, one more then. One more is on the way. You should get it pretty soon. We
Where's the
wanted
mug?
to
Where's the mug? Let's see
show the
it.
mug. Let's see the
It's
mug.
it's it's in the box right now. I'm trying to figure out where I can put it or how to use it.
We'll find it. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Cool.
Well,
Well,
basically, I'm
Kev,
still trying to figure out that part myself.
there you go. Well, thanks for joining, man. I know you had a lot to talk about regarding the Hasbro pack. Real quick, Chris Robinson's in the chat saying, "My gran is knitting me a new yellow hose wrap. If she doesn't get the yellow and black tracer correct, though, I swear." Hey, listen,
That's
if
funny.
she does, if she does get it right, and you open up an Etsy store for her, she's gonna make some bank right now. That's all I'm saying, Chris.
I feel
You
like he's bullshitting.
Well, the best place to look for any type of parts would have to be like a hardware store,
absolutely
or
for
basically
sure.
at your local guarding section at your local store for the best parts.
Okay, so Matt may or not be okay with this, but because I want to make this pack a little bit my own, and I want to also take some inspiration from previous films, I did get myself the foam padding ready to go. This is a half
That's
inch
perfect.
black foam padding. So I feel like, well, if you're going for screen accurate, the 84, somebody's going to say I'm wrong, but the 84 pad is actually white and it's covered in
Gaffer
black
tape.
tape, gaffer tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
And also the foam in the 84 was really bulky and I don't want it to stick out. I want it to be kind of hidden. The 89 and GB2, it's thinner. I actually think it's of a dark gray or charcoal, and they
Yeah.
actually use zip ties. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna use tape. I'm gonna there you go, just like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use zip ties. There we go.
yeah. I use zip ties on mine quite a bit. Basically, from top to bottom. My pack is like zip tied like hell.
Oh yeah, nice.
Especially when I got some zip ties on the hose clamps.
it just doesn't even look like a proton pack anymore. It's just all zip ties.
Exactly.
Perfect.
But the thing is though, when the Haslabs were coming, when they came out, I started to see them on Facebook. One huge question was popping in my mind about them. You got one device that does the video game mode, but what happens when you try to do the game mode on the wand, but also the colors on the pack of the cyclotron doesn't change into the same colors like the wand does?
Ooh. You know
I
what?
don't think the wand goes into video game mode while it's connected to the pack.
Should we find
It
out?
actually can.
Yeah, we'll
Actually,
figure it
it
out.
still can.
All right, let's see what happens. We'll do a live test.
Oh yeah, that sounds better.
I get so excited doing this. Hang on.
All right, here we go, Ted. Let's see if it hops into the video game mode.
First things first, hit the switch.
It explodes.
All right, he's got the wand off.
I took it off so it would actually sit better on the stand, but let me put it back on real quick.
Yeah, I also I read out from Bob Vikings that he did a YouTube channel between his version and the Haslab version. He said that basically those bad boys have a tendency to fall apart a little bit easy.
Yeah, but Bob. So there's a lot, and I'm not going to mention any makers by name, but
that's understandable.
there's saltiness in that community a little bit because this is pulling away from their business, and so
that's understandable.
Because they couldn't fabricate parts in time because they didn't have prototypes or anything to have ready for when these things came out. A lot of the Spirit Pack makers, a lot of the commission build folks, they're going to be struggling for business here for a little while. And Haslab went out of their way to make it so inexpensive. I won't say the word cheap because I haven't touched one, but they made it so inexpensive that now they've kind of changed the price in the market a little bit. And so, like a normal like commission pack, if you just want like a just bare bones, you're just going to put this thing together one by one. I mean, you were looking at $1,500 before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And now you're going to have people walk around with one at $400.
All right, he's ready.
This is like when I mentioned earlier that we got a pack that's like 90 or 95% as functional as we want it to be. This is what I meant. That's so damn cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you can completely turn this on with your wand, just so long as it's already in the on switch, in the on position. But you mentioned putting it in the game mode, so let's.
Yeah.
It does switch. Does it do
anything
anything
different?
No.
No different colors on the pack.
Yeah. That's a mod out there. Somebody who can put that together, program those elements in there.
Well, I saw a YouTube channel that someone opened the whole entire backside of that bad boy and exposed two small motherboards on the inside.
Really?
Literally.
Yeah, I've already seen mods. I've already seen mods as well where someone's taken that board and resequenced it to where when it's in 84 mode, only the center light will shine. So it doesn't have the line. You see on the line now where it's in 84 mode, and it's kind of like a little half circle in each one. They resequenced it to where in 84 mode only only the center light on that shines, so it's more accurate to 84.
Yeah,
So I mean,
and
in the
then
next, it's going to take about a month and a half. In 2 months, this pack is going to be insane with the mods that people are able to do.
oh yeah, I totally agree. And
Sheesh.
also possibility that some will probably turn into the video game version as well.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that. That really hasn't taken off
Legacy
like
of
we thought it
Nerd.
would.
No, I did not get the Haslab. So this is Maddie B's sad month where I get to cry on every stream.
Hey,
And
Matt, don't feel bad. I didn't have the money either for the Haslab, but I'm fine with my Spirit version.
well, I'm even more sad because I did have the money and chose not to do it out of defiance, and now I have FOMO like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I want to have it. I like my 80% size because I'm an 80% guy. I like to say that. I'm an
Oh yeah.
80% I'm an 80% dude. I'm not a big guy, so the 80% works for me, but now I'm going to have these kids at these cons that are going to be walking up to me in a Spirit Halloween jumpsuit and a 1x1, and I'm going to be like, now I'm the guy who's
Yeah. Well, speaking about events, my crew and I basically got some coming up. I just found out from our event coordinator. We got a toy show happening in Jackson. About like I think it's like a 30 minutes or an hour drive from where I'm at. And on May 6th, he's still working out the details. We're going to be at the Lansing Lugnut Ball Stadium.
Nice.
oh nice.
It's pretty
So
cool.
yeah, basically, yeah, he right now he's really working on upcoming events for the group and all that. So basically, this is just he's getting the whole entire year all gathered up and all that, and plus we're going to be very busy as well on the 20th of this December as well.
That's pretty cool. When you guys put like a flyer together about this event, make sure you send it our way so we can spread it around and stuff, Kev.
Yeah, I will as soon as I basically get the full details from our event coordinator.
Absolutely.
Because
Let me get
but yeah,
caught up.
basically
Let me get caught up with these comments real quick. Scotty's in the chat from Cincinnati. What's going on, Scott? It says, "Are you gonna mod yours?" So, I'm debating. Right, I'm debating on what I want to do. First would be probably internal components. Changing it from the being powered by D batteries to something else so able to last longer. That's definitely like the top of my list right there. I'm questioning because Matt brought something else that I've been thinking about. Because Matt said like somebody programmed only the single light in the cyclotron to shine, so that it kind of just gives it a full look, rather than just the three lights. I was wondering if there's something you can kind of add to the lens, or if there's space to move the lights further back, to where you get less of the outline
That's
of the bulbs, and
that's
you
where
can
you would have
actually get
wanted.
full look.
That's where they should have used the milky lens, in my opinion.
That would have
If they would have
helped.
used the like a milky red that wasn't very translucent, like I think that it would have had the same effect of everything that they wanted all together there.
Maybe. I mean, but the afterlife function on this looks spectacular. Like to see it spin real fast and all that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they nailed it how it is in the movie. So I can see why
which
they're
is
like,
how it should have been in '84. Honestly, that's the coolest thing they did in Afterlife. The cyclotron should spin.
absolutely. Alex is in the chat saying he did the grayish pipe insulation instead of the foam. I used rubber pipe insulation over the gray. I thought about using the rubber as well, but I don't know. I didn't want to go. I think they didn't have the right color. I wanted black, and
What you
I
have,
wanted
even if
I
you wanted
wanted
to
it.
put gaffer tape on,
Oh,
it
sure, for
would
sure.
be yeah.
Alex says the wand does change, but the pack doesn't. Yes, correct. Let's see. I have my other pack modded to change between game modes. Of course, Alex does. we wouldn't expect anything less from you, Alex.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
man.
true.
Legacy Nerd says you can always buy the Hasbro pack for twice the price as most Haslabs go. You know what? It's getting ridiculous, and please, nobody pay for those prices on eBay. I've seen them go as high as 1,500, 1,600. I think I saw a $2,000, but I'm like, don't anybody.
I'm hoping to use the goodwill of the community, and hopefully, some viewer out there says, "You know who needs a Haslab pack? Maddie B. Let me just ship it over to Katy, Texas." And you know, and I've been hoping for the keys to that Ferrari too. Still hasn't happened, but I'm holding out hope. I'm
Hold it
holding
out.
out hope.
Just wait. What is it?
Well, basically, if you want, you can still get the GB Fans 42 motherboard and all that. And they might have the sound effect and the lights to pull that off.
Ooh, there you go. Could try that out.
Because I
Let's see
heard
here.
some.
I saw that too, Chris.
What'd you
I saw
hear?
that too. No, I saw in something strange mod category. I saw a spinning internal cyclotron earlier today. I saw that as well. They were using a fan motor to spin that cyclotron piece inside of it,
What?
but they were worried about the overheat. I believe was the concern. But I saw that in there too, Chris.
Jesus.
That's a little much for me. I think that's if you want to go that far with it, the Taco Belly and Quentin Michaels the Q Pack modified for Afterlife is where you should be taking your talents and skills, not so much adding fan motors to the inside of a Haslab toy.
Yeah.
Well, here's a bright idea.
What's that?
To basically, if you don't have the money for like a advanced motherboard for the change of the lights and all that, basically go to your local store or a Walmart or something in the photo department and grab one of those color changing circle lights that spin
Ooh.
and find a way to insert it and basically also like have it charging portable USB charger close enough to keep it charged and all that.
If you see someone who's accomplished that, because that sounds very technical, too technical for me, let me know
No,
if somebody pulled
it's
that off.
It's been accomplished. The ring lights, Amazon sells a ring light that works, and it's been done. If you're in the 3D printed Ghostbusters prop crew, it has been done, and it has
Are you
been
talking about
done
the strip of
well.
lights?
I'm talking about
No, the ring.
It's like a ring,
Oh wow, okay.
and yeah, and but I haven't seen it programmed for video game mode, but I've seen it programmed for the Phoebe pack. That's what it's called. Because what you have, I mean, the Hasbro as it is delivered to you is the Phoebe pack, and
Phoebe,
so
spinning
yeah,
your
so
afterlife pack, yeah.
but yeah, Kevin, thanks for joining the show, brother. I know you've been watching us for a long time, and
Hell yeah,
we
man.
wanted to get you on there, and we were glad to be able to help
No
you out.
worries. I'll keep you guys up. I'll keep you guys updated on what events that we got planning and all that. But I cannot let you guys know until I have all the details, including a poster made by our event coordinator.
As soon as that happens, you send it our way, my friend.
Oh,
you,
trust
buddy.
me, you'll be the first ones to know.
Hey,
Let us know when you get that last package, because I want to get your reaction when you get it. All right.
All right, and also, Ted, if you got a spare Tobin Spirit Guide, because I haven't got the one from Chris yet. I've been waiting for a long. I've been waiting a long time for him on that one, and I can understand he's been busy and all that, but yeah, I've been waiting to get my own Tobin Spirit Guide for a long time.
We'll see if we can reach out to him. Yeah, absolutely. I forgot about that. Thanks a lot, Ken.
See you guys later.
Take it
Later,
easy.
buddy.
Everybody in the chat, make some noise for Kevin from the Lansing, Michigan team. Talk to you soon, buddy. Oh, man. Real quick.
How much do sunglasses cost in the Matrix? Kevin was stunting on us in the shades. I was going to go get mine. I was going to go put them on.
He wears
Um,
his sunglasses at night. Real quick, I can't forget what Scott asked me about modding. I was out there pricing copper pens today. Um, pens that kind of use the copper paint, because a lot of these nuts and bolts on older packs are either copper or maybe silver, but a lot of them are just black. And yes, 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 it's the Afterlife pack. That's probably how it was on screen. I need to go back and watch it. But just taking like a copper paint pen to some of these bolts or screws or connectors, I think would be pretty cool. So I might definitely do that for sure. Just like little things here and there. Haven't decided on anything big yet. I know everybody's doing something, so I'm kind of like Matt and I have been talking about, kind of gonna wait and see what everybody does, pick the best out of the bunch, and just run with it.
but also don't feel pressure to do anything with it.
Nah, not
Um,
feeling pressure.
so
No, no pressure.
this Haslab pack has split the community like I have never seen. So, but it has.
More
So
than
in the
2016.
no, it might be close. So
Hey.
you have the 3D printed or scratch build community that's like, screw this pack, because I mean, let's be honest. 10 years ago, building a pack was damn near impossible. I mean, you had to have some ingenuity to build a screen accurate pack. It took time, money, effort. It would take years to source some of the parts that you would need in order to be able to make your own pack. So that portion of the community is sitting over here like, screw this, we don't want anything to do with that. Then you have the Spirit Pack community, who just recently got a bunch of hate from that same community that I was just talking about. When the Spirit Packs came out, people started modding them and doing those things. And then you have the collectors community, who collects and they like to keep toys and collectors pristine, saying, why did you get this pack if you just wanted to tear it to pieces?
Right.
Right? So, like, it's split into so many different categories. And what I say to anybody who has one, do what you want to freaking do with it. If you don't want to touch it, don't touch it. If you want to make it your own, make it your own. But I would advise you, if you don't want the hate, to not post into groups that it's not meant for. And that, I think that's what it's really, a lot of the hate has derived from. So I'm a member of the 3D printed group. I'm a member of the Spirit group. I'm a member of a lot of these things. And I saw a lot of people posting their Haslab stuff into this 3D printed group. And I knew that that was just kindling on the fire, because they're very particular sometimes on what it is. So just, if you're excited, you want to post your pack, just make sure you're posting it into Haslab spaces. You're posting it into Ghostbusters general pages, and you'll avoid a lot of hate. But don't enter every single modding Ghostbusters group and say, hey, my Haslab pack is here, and I put a scratch on my cyclotron, and I'm really stoked on it, because you might get some unnecessary hate back. So there's ways to sort of travel through. And me as a Spirit owner, if I were to go into those groups and do the same thing, I would receive the same hate. So it's not just because you have a Haslab pack. It's not just because you have a Spirit pack. It's just some of these groups are very particular in what they've done, and some of these people spend $5,000-$6,000 on these things, and they just take it at a level of seriousness that's maybe not meant for the guy who just got one for $400. So just be smart in the way that you navigate through the community, and it'll be a lot easier for us all to avoid some of the hate posting going on.
We need to
Important
treat
safety.
this. We need to treat this like sports cars or something. Like, yeah, everybody can get like a V6 Mustang and call their sports car, but then you have those aficionados that go get what's the one from Gone in 60 Seconds? Is it,
Um, now you just made me miss it. It's a Shelby
I
Mustang,
know.
but
Shelby.
what's the name of the what's the name of the car? We
I
can't
want to
continue the show.
I want to say Lucille, but it's not Lucille. Damn it. I shouldn't have said this, cuz now I'm going to hurt myself trying to figure it out.
Why did you have to say that?
Anyways, Peggy? Not Peggy.
I'm looking it up right now. We can't
We
continue the
have
show.
to. We have to. Hold everything.
Eleanor.
Eleanor. It's like one guy that goes and is driving around in the Eleanor, and you just we need to treat this like sports cars. Like there's 10,000 V6 Mustangs on the road in my city, and there's only one Eleanor in the world. So like, yeah, that's what it could be like. I think that fans either dogging people with this or that or whatever, or saying theirs is more screen accurate or less screen accurate, like it shouldn't matter. It really is all about fandom and how people decide to choose and celebrate their fandom. I shared an article with you earlier. Did you read it or did you go through it?
Which you send me like 50 articles a day, dude.
I did, but I went through an article, and this is a little off topic, but not too much off topic. There's a guy, his name is Doug Sullivan. Maybe some people know who I'm talking about already, but Doug Sullivan and his team over at Ever and Oak built the most screen accurate Ghostbusters pack known to man. And it's so perfect that he takes like microscopic photos of certain elements of the pack to show you like the differences in his pack to everybody else's. And so that is the holy grail of packs. It's like Doug Sullivan's pack, and then there's like a 50-foot drop, and then it's like everybody else's starts getting like there. And that's just what it is. And I sent this is probably something we need to talk about next week, or we need to get Doug on the show is what we really need to do.
Yeah.
But just the sheer attention to detail that he went through to meticulously pull every single piece, like small piece you could find that was screen accurate, just blows everybody else out of the water. It's not even close. That's the ball game. Yada yada. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. So yeah, it's a great article, and it's something we probably should dive into. Scotty says he's gonna leave his original except for the Alice frame. Very nice, and he's thinking of raffling off a pack. Maybe somebody should enter. We'll see. We'll see.
If you could skew the results for me, Scott, I'm in. I'll just tell me what the donation amount is that is likely to win, and we'll figure it out.
Scott says it's a double-edged sword. Customize it, but loses value, or keep original. And as more people customize Hasbro pack, increases values of original untouched packs. That is something that a few people have talked about, is that this is definitely more of a collector's item than we are taking it for, if that makes any sense. Like, it should be treated as a collectible because there's so few of them out there. And you can bet your money that Hasbro's probably not going to go through this again, only because, like, I can't imagine them going through this entire process to fund another few thousand of these, and how long it would take. Like, are people going to wait that long for it again? Might as well just wait till the next movie and let them build whatever is next, the next proton pack or whatever.
I don't think they can. I think it's illegal.
Really? What do you mean?
Yeah. So when you do a crowdfunded project, this is how like crowdfunding works.
Okay.
It's launched as this isn't going to happen again. And people spend their money under the pretense that this is the one and done shot. One shot, one opportunity. Cue Eminem.
There you go.
And I think it's illegal. I don't know what it is. If it would have to be a completely different pack than this one. They cannot mass produce this pack. It would be illegal to do so, I believe. That's how it goes for a lot of kickstarting projects. Any crowd-funded project like that, if you mention in there, you're not going to make it anymore. This is your only chance to get it. I don't think that you're allowed to mass produce that product afterwards. and there may be a statute of limitations on it, but it's probably decades. But cereal's the only people allowed to do limited time only.
After a certain amount of time, there's no way to turn it back on. I wonder what that time frame is. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
manually flip it off and on to kick it back on.
and obviously there's money in making Ghostbusters products. But if they
Sure.
make a proton pack again, it will never be this one.
Right.
And it probably has some requirements to not really be very close to this one. So they're probably testing the market with this pack. And that's why they went ahead and threw in the 84. They're not going to make a 84 replica because they have that in this one with the Afterlife. I'm thinking we're going to get a jump in technology in Firehouse. If we do that, I bet they'll crowdfund another one.
And then
But-
who's gonna be first in line? This guy right here, Matty B. Matty B.
I'm a traditionalist mostly, but I might if it looks really good, I might hop on it. But yeah, I like what Scott was saying here. But you'll get to it. But yeah, I like what Scott's saying.
Yeah, Chris says, I think it comes down to dollars and cents. If they made a mint, they'll make more. I don't know how they made anything, though. And then Scott says, I see Hasbro making the Trap and the PKE. It feels like that would be a no-brainer, right? But A, what are they waiting on? And B, like, there's a movie coming out in like 11 months, supposedly. So if they
I
do
think
make
Maddie.
anything else, they might as well just wait for this next film. And
I
that's what
guarantee you,
they should do.
we are not going to get anything 84 or 89 ever again because Mattel did that, and they were successful with that. But who knows the legality of how all that stuff works? And so I don't think we're going to get anything 84 or 89 ever again, as far as a crowdfunding project goes, unless Cadillac decides to start crowdfunding Ecto once, which
Please,
actually,
please.
but I actually think that would sell the freak out. But you know, they could even make them electric or something, But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get anything 84 anymore. I think the licensing's too complicated. I think whoever has it now, Haslab obviously just proved that they can deliver on this concept, so they're going to hold on to this for a while. But I think all the 84, 89 stuff is probably done. And everything is going to be new stuff moving forward. This was sort of our last hurrah with an 84 idea.
I completely agree with you, and I think that that's fine. Like, if we want to keep pushing this franchise forward, we need new stuff to get excited about. Start coming out with packs from Spirits Unleashed, the good-looking ones, not the ones that look like they just got shit all thrown together. But yeah, start coming out with some of those bad boys. Make some pieces interchangeable. Are we getting into something here? You is that too toyish if you
Well,
start releasing packs from the video game where like you can remove the cyclotron completely and put in the upgraded cyclotron? Like, does that get too weird? That might get too gimmicky in a way.
I don't know if it's gimmicky. I think if you did a crowdfund like that, it should come with everything, not like a hey, you release this and like that's how it is. Like if you want to do a Spirits Unleashed crowdfund, then do a Spirits Unleashed crowdfund, and then like you get, depending on the levels that we reach, is what we get.
Yeah.
If we hit the first level, then you get just the basic pack that Spirits Unleashed comes with, and that's kind of it. But it does get a little gimmicky after a while. But I mean, people buy gimmicks. My favorite thing, one of my favorite animes growing up. People might not remember this. Maybe they will. It was called Zoids. Zoids. And it was these mechanical animals that would run around. But the main character on that show was the Liger. And I definitely went back and got all of the different pieces and compartments to attach onto it. And I think people would buy it, but you don't want to cheapen the product. You don't want to get into the kid level of things.
Right.
While kids do have these packs, this is very much geared towards adults, I would assume.
Here's a scenario. You ready for this? They go back and they crowdfund a pack from the Ghostbusters video game, and it's now $600 price point, but you get all the details. I mean, those packs had lights on like every single
Yeah.
angle that you can look and see, and it has all the video game functionality. It has all the sounds and colors that change. The exhaust actually sends out smoke. They have a little smoke machine that works when your wand overheats. $600 price point. Are you first in line to get one of those?
I mean, I would at $600, but my gosh, you remember at the Ernie Hudson event?
Yes,
There was a guy named Brent Locker, I think his name is. He had the Phoenix pack from the video game,
I
like a
remember.
legit Phoenix pack. The bumper extended on overheat, smoke
Yes.
shot everywhere. There was lights. Oh, I mean, it was the video game pack. It even had the exhaust smoke coming out of that little top nozzle there.
Yep.
That was $4,900.
Yep. And it
I
was the most
mean,
beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I mean that other than in our group, Scott, that's the best pack I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Scott in our group has the best 84 pack I've ever seen in person. The most impressive thing I've ever seen in person as far as Ghostbusters goes is Brent Locker's Phoenix pack, which was $4,900. Ted, that's you can't drive it.
You could get like a 59 millimeter for that price with no engine in it these days,
Yeah,
probably.
but that's good. I think we covered it, didn't we, Ted?
I think so too. Let's see. Next week, Steady will keep you guys updated on attaching the Alice frame. Maybe I'll take some videos while I'm doing it. If anything breaks, I won't show it to you guys. Um, Also, we'll add the foam padding to it as well. I got my zip ties. I'm excited. I'm excited how it's gonna turn out and look. Let me just kind of finally say, like, I think once you put yourself in the mindset of like this is the pack from the third movie, and they took photos from every single angle from the third movie and did it accordingly. There's only a few things I've changed really so far. I've moved some of the wires, like this red one on the left. I actually put it over the black hose, because I've seen that mostly done that way with older packs. Um, I will definitely put the screw fronts and the silver on the front of the iron arm, because I know Matt's gonna give me crap if I don't do that for sure. So I'm gonna have to update that for sure. That's like the one thing that kind of really sticks out that is there, but they didn't do it. But again, that's not like a deal breaker at all by any means.
No,
Um, I love it. It looks great.
it's beautiful.
It sounds great. The speaker could be updated for sure, and I know people have talked about doing that on this show, so that's probably going to be something I'm going to be looking into. Um, Other than that, I'll keep folks updated, but we also want to hear from you guys. Send us your photos. Send us your ideas. We want to, be involved with this community and hear and bounce ideas off one another, and hopefully nobody makes any drastic mistakes and like damages their pack completely. But I think
That's
that
already happened. I guarantee it. If you don't
hopefully
have
it
the
doesn't happen to
skills,
too many
don't
people.
do it.
There you go.
Or hold on. If you seriously, this is a public service important safety tip.
PSA.
If you bought this pack because you didn't have the skills or maybe know how to even mod a spirit pack, then do not touch this at all until next Halloween, and you can go get yourself a spirit pack for $90 and practice there. What you have in your hands is a once in a lifetime collectible item. It is not something to really play around. It's not something to experiment with. If I
Not a
mess
toy,
this one up,
guys.
if I messed this one up, and I did, I had to buy another one. You'll see 4 Spirit Pack boxes in my closet. I messed them up so many times before I got it right. Do not do this with your Haslab. Do not just test things out, please. It's a collector's item. It's not really something to mess with.
There you go.
Legacy and Nerd, the collector community is always like, oh, everything's always worth something. No, it's not, Daniel. Do not mess this thing up. Okay, he's like, it's like, what's that? American Pickers. That's how it always is. Oh well, this bike doesn't have any wheels and no handlebars, but the frame is worth something. Don't touch a pack if you don't know what you're doing. Public service announcement.
PSA for everybody out there. But again, let us know what you guys think about the packs and what you guys plan on doing. We'll start diving into the Spangler Journal, really going through it page by page and going through this bad boy. You know what? I would not put it past the Hasbro team, maybe Jason, to also put maybe some sort of hidden messages in here, right? I feel like that's something
There's
Spangler
Easter eggs
might
in there for
do.
sure.
Oh, Easter eggs out the wazoo for sure. But maybe when you
You mean
look at this
more
one
so
like a Red Revenge
specific?
or something,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like you're wanting to send messages to your granddaughter or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Could be a thing, could not be a thing. Hey, I wonder if this is cool. Oh, little Easter egg here. There's a review for the Tully and Tully taxes and probate services. Somebody gave him 4 stars. Said, "Wow, Lewis really knows his stuff, and he knew Ghostbusters. He has awesome stories and can get you the most deductions." They spell deductions with a CK and an SH on your taxes. I wasn't even audited. My puppet business is great because of him. That's Wilhelm R. from Detroit, Michigan. Maybe the Lansing people know him. Either way, this is pretty cool. It's just random stuff towards the back, but all the beginning stuff, like I mentioned, is between the years of 84 and 89. And so there's a lot of ghost references and other traps and proton pack stuff in here. So we'll start dissecting that, and that'll be awesome. Cool. Yeah. Talk about events. So if you are in the San Antonio area, the San Antonio Ghostbusters team will be out at Jefferson Community Church this Saturday from 11 to 2. I'm going to say 11 to 2 because I think it's 10 to 3. 11 to 2. Come by and see us. It's a barbecue plate sale. It's a fundraiser. $12 a plate. You get good old Texas plate of barbecue. You know what it is if you're from Texas. And also, we're accepting donations for a variety of things. We're accepting donations um, for toys. We're accepting donations of blankets, uh, old jackets. We're accepting sort of kitchen items, small appliances for I was gonna say kids, but teenagers that are going off to college for the first time and they don't have sort of those essential things: toasters, microwaves, hot plates, stuff like that. So if you have anything that you'd like to donate, bring it. If you're wondering, should I donate this, bring it and we'll decide down there. Jefferson Community Church. I should probably give you guys the address, right? That would be a smart thing. Do you guys have any events coming up, Maddie?
No, I don't think we have anything exactly coming up. But I can guarantee you that no one is going to write down on a notepad the address you're going to put out here. It's Jefferson Community Church. So if you're in San Antonio area, look it up. It's one of the most historic. I mean, like I went inside of this church, and I don't know if you guys have even been there. So if you go for the plates, fine. If you go for the donation, fine. Go and just look at this building and walk around it. This is one of the most historic, beautiful buildings I think I've ever stepped into. It is amazing inside of there. If you're a fan of San Antonio, stop by because this thing is amazing to look at and to be a part of. And they have a huge kitchen. And if you know anything about Rob and Liv, they like to make a plate of food, and they make them pretty good. And they do it every Wednesday. But it's a fun time. You're gonna have a good time out there. And we have a ton of stuff. There's a ton of essential items. If you're going off and you're going off to college or you're doing this thing, or every little thing counts. And college kids don't think they need anything, especially if it's a boy. A boy will put a mattress on the floor and have a TV in the corner and think that's all they need. It's not. So
Not at all.
if you have anything extra whatsoever, drop it by Jefferson Community. Say hi to Rob and Liv and the Ghostbusters team, but also just take a look at this building. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. And this is going to be our first event. And we've talked about this with other teams. We had a successful toy drive, nearly 10,000 toys, over $12,000 raised, right? But the teams that really kind of had the most success were doing little events throughout the year. You don't have to do everything all at once the final week, the final weekend. You can do little things throughout the year. So this is going to be our first event of the year. It's going to be a Fill the Ecto event. We're going to have the Ecto out there. You're going to bring your toys. You're going to bring your donated items. There's going to be flea market vendors. There's going to be local artists. It's going to be a great time. So Jefferson Community Church, 758 Donaldson Avenue, from 11 a.m. to 3. See, I was making sure that I didn't get it wrong. So there you go.
What that really means is that Rob is watching this and texting him the details, and Ted's reading them out on screen. I guarantee you that's
You're
what's
getting
happening.
it wrong. Absolutely. If you have any questions, visit the Ghostbusters of SATX Facebook page and hit us up. And we can't wait to see you guys out there. Also, more events coming at the end of the month. The Child Advocates of San Antonio, we're going to be at their facility on the 28th for their community event. More details on that next week. But just make plans January 28th to hang out with us at the Child Advocates of San Antonio facility on the south side of town for their community event. For the Ghostheads Radio, my name is Ted, a.k.a. Steady. Joining me is my partner in crime, the one and only Matty B.
You can't do this at Jefferson Community Church, by the way. You can't have beer. But you can crush your cans and then take them into a donation center, get the money back for those cans, and then donate that to the fund. So you can do that. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. We have a lot of good stuff coming up. I know we didn't really promote this show as much as we normally do. I was busy tonight. But we have a lot of new segments coming in January here. So just stay tuned in with us. We're going to get... You can't have beer, Rob says. What?
It's a Texas church, baby.
I knew he was watching. That's hilarious. But anyways, I love you guys. SATX forever, even though I'm in Houston. Yellow Rose Ghostbusters. Matty B out.
We love them too. Shout out to Yellow Rose team.